I want to make this thing remote controlled. Our battery pack has 3 motors hooked up to it. This is going to go inside of this. Let's add some wheels. The idea is that this will be inside the canister and drive forward, and the canister will roll around it. These extra unpowered wheels will prevent the battery pack from dragging too much. This needs some counterweights. Thankfully, the steering will be done by shifting its weight, so we can use the same weight for steering and ballast. Let's code this controller. Beautiful. Tires are hitting the ends of the container, so these should prevent that. Drives pretty well. Now the steering is going to work by having a little rim around the whole canister in the center, and then the shifting weight will tilt it that way or that way, make it steer like that or like that. So let's test that out on a little block before we make any additions. They're inverted right now. Let's see how wide the rim can be and still be able to shift its weight. So it's not even touching the ground there. If we want any kind of stability in the rim, it's going to need to be wider, which means more weight is going to have to shift from this side to this side. So I'm thinking instead of just shifting a weight this side, center, this side, we shift the entire battery pack and more weights from this side to this side and keep the wheel motors stationary. Added extra ballast, and it did seem to improve the weight shifting, but we still have a lot of weight in the battery pack and motors. I forgot to mention that this is going to go in the water too. The added ballast weights did help with weight shifting, but the lighter the better, the more buoyant. So we're going to need to just be shifting the battery and motors. I'm thinking it's going to be something like, so this is the new and improved version. It not only has increased its gear ratio by 3 times, so it'll improve the speed, but it has also added full body shifting, so batteries, motors, everything. This piece under here is 5 studs wide and represents the rim that we're going to build. And the shifting weight handles it like a pro. We're going to need something stronger than cardboard. can't believe this thing works. I thought I was going to need to print another one of these, but this rim came from the failed attempt, so I just put them together, and the rim has the perfect width. I added a couple of accessories as well, one of which is this handle, which is held down by a magnet but comes off when you want to carry it, and then just snaps in place for this to drive. Another one is this little button that allows me to control the battery pack and turn it on and off, so I don't have to pull the whole thing out of the canister. I just realized I have no idea if this thing is waterproof because I took it out of the recycling, so let's test that out. To make sure it stays dry, I'm going to put my phone in here and see if it still works at the end. Just kidding. I'll use a piece of paper. I really hope this works. Looks pretty dry in there. This might be a success. Nice and dry. Thank God that worked. Because I had no backup plan. Now the big question, is it truly amphibious? Oh my God, it actually works. And it's fast too. Watch this beautiful turn. Time to take this thing for a true water test. Let's see how this thing fared against the elements. Looks like we got a little bit of moisture in there, but thankfully not enough to damage any of the electronics. Can see a few drops coming out. We should add a rubber seal around the inside to make it fully waterproof. We should glue the paddle because the tape was definitely not enough to hold it on. And some of the strands from the 3D printer started peeling off towards the end. Somehow this guide wheel actually came off from the assembly during the drive. And towards the end, the wheels actually started slipping off of the powered axle, probably from kind of sliding around during the drive. So I'm going to brace this side of the body against this end of the canister. I'm really happy with its performance, and I can't wait to test it in water that's not filled with soap. It's looking out over the dark waters. Alright, we've got our robot entering the water itself for the first time. Nice. Send this thing for a little swim. I've truly fallen in love with this thing over the past few days. It's been so much fun driving it around on land and in the water. I'm planning to make a future video on how I further improve it, and it'll cover the true mechanics of how it all works. Make sure to check the description for a link to that video, and I hope it inspires you to build something like this of your own. And if you do, I'd love to see your creation, so post it in the comments. I don't even know what to call this thing. It's like a robot in a barrel, I guess? A barrel bot? Alright, thanks so much for watching.